Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Here at UK Cop, we shine a light on police misconduct and hold public officials accountable. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Today's video comes courtesy of Applaud or Not Applaud, and you'll find their channel link down below in the description. Go show them some support and check out the full clip. And as always, stay tuned because this one is worth watching.
You alright?
I'm good, thank you.
What are you filming for?
Pardon?
What are you filming for?
For my own purpose.
What purpose is that?
My own.
Pardon?
My own.
Right, okay. What's the matter, Steve?
Do I need a purpose to film?
Huh?
Do I need a purpose to film?
Well, normally you do.
No, I don't.
Just let the time get out.
Well, first of all, could you identify yourself?
So the number's there. 1171 NA.
If you could actually say what the numbers are, please. Not everyone can actually read them.
1171 NA. No
Thank
worries.
you.
So what's the purpose of filming today?
For my own purpose.
Yeah, what's the purpose?
My own purpose.
Just what's the purpose?
Because I want to film.
Okay. Obviously, when we see people filming outside, we get a little bit worried.
Yes.
There's terrorism, things like that.
Okay, so
That's
you're calling
why we
me a
asked.
terrorist?
I'm asking your purpose.
Okay. Well then, can you tell me then the last time when a police station was actually hit by a terrorist?
The encounter begins with the officer pressing the auditor for a purpose. Calmly, the auditor asks for identification, flipping the script right away. When terrorism is brought up, the auditor fires back with history, pointing out no police station has been bombed since 1972. That fact completely undermines the excuse, leaving the officer scrambling. Instead of getting flustered, the auditor stays calm and confident, making the officer look unprepared. Right from the start, it's clear this isn't going to be a one-sided conversation. The balance of power begins to shift.
Well, that's not the point.
Okay, yes it is the point, because it's predominantly, okay, it will be the public that will get hit by a terrorist, not the police.
I think that's incorrect.
No, it's not incorrect. You've only got to look at past events, okay, and you will actually see that. And then when you look at the last police station, that actually got hit by a bomb, okay, was in 1972.
Stabbed by a terrorist. How about that?
Okay, yeah, that was a stabbing.
Yeah, that's a terrorist act.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, if that's the case, then should we then talk about a certain officer that killed a young woman when he was in
wasn't a
uniform?
terrorist act.
No, but that was a member of the police. That was a member of the police, okay, that actually killed a member of the public.
Right.
Okay.
So what's the point of that and terrorism?
Because it's my right, okay.
I'm not saying it's
to
not your
film,
right, but I'm asking
okay,
why you're filming.
because I can.
Yeah, but for what reason? So you've come
My
out here
own
today.
reason. My
You've
own
come out
reason.
here today.
I don't need to explain to you why I want to film.
The officer sticks to the terrorism narrative, but the auditor refuses to be cornered. He flips the argument, pointing out police misconduct has caused far more public harm, even reminding them of the high-profile case where a uniformed officer murdered a young woman. That stings, because it's a direct challenge to their authority. Suddenly, the officer's reasoning sounds hollow compared to the reality of police failings. Instead of intimidation, the exchange becomes a debate on trust. It shows how quickly a weak narrative can collapse when someone knows their rights and isn't afraid to speak up.
But we're asking you why. I mean, we've got powers under the Terrorist Act.
What, section 43?
To search you.
And if you use section 43, okay, it will be unlawful for one.
For why?
Okay,
Why is
because
that?
it's my lawful right. And if you actually read the actual memo that got sent by the IOPCC, back in 2020, right, it will actually state that people can actually film a police station, okay, police staff, police vehicles, okay, and section 43 should not be used, okay, in that actual event.
Reconnaissance? What about that?
Okay.
What if we see you filming outside a police station?
Okay. Well then let me put it to you this way. I'll put it very bluntly. Okay. If you believe, okay, that it is, okay, then if you contact the counter-terrorism
we haven't
squad.
got time for that.
Well, no. If you believe that, well, I'm just standing here.
Right.
Okay. If you believe that, okay, then you contact them.
Well, no.
Okay. But also as well, what are your reasonable grounds? What are your reasonable grounds?
The officer escalates, threatening to use Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. But the auditor is ready. He cites the 2020 IOPC memo word for word, explaining that filming police stations is lawful and Section 43 cannot be used without genuine grounds. The officer tries to cling to reasonable suspicion, but nothing backs it up. Calmly, the auditor exposes the weakness in the threat, leaving the officer with no safe way to push forward. It's a textbook example of how knowledge of the law shuts down abuse of power. By staying cool, the auditor takes full control of the moment.
You've waited for a van to come out. How do I know you're not going to run in when you're filming a police station? What for? It could be for the exit.
Well, this is a public footpath. This is a public footpath.
That's not a public.
It makes no difference.
That's
I can film.
private.
I can film.
Yeah, so we've come out. We're asking
Hang on, you
why.
say that that's private. Okay, that is owned by the public.
But it's
Okay.
private. You need a pass to get in.
Who's going in? I'm not getting in.
Ground.
I'm not getting in.
So I've asked you.
You made a presumption
why are you-
that I may
why-
go in.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, you made a
can't- we can't
presumption.
take that chance because
Yeah, I know.
apparently terrorists don't attack us. They do. I've just
Okay.
gave you an example, haven't I? A few
Yeah,
years ago.
and then should we then talk about actual people then that get abused by the police on a daily basis?
Is that what you're filming for?
Okay.
Are you seeing if police are abusing people within the custody?
Well, yeah, you tried to say about using section 43, okay, and that would have been an abuse of power.
Well, it's not an abuse of
You
power.
used,
You're
you said the
filming
terrorism,
a
Act,
police
yeah,
building,
which is a completely
which
lawful
could be seen
activity.
as
It's a
hostile
completely
process.
lawful activity.
Right. But
It's
it
a
could be
lawful
seen-
activity.
You're not letting me speak.
It makes no difference.
Well,
Good afternoon.
hello, have you spoken to one of our colleagues earlier?
I've spoken to several of your colleagues.
At the police station, yeah?
Yeah.
That is in out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Could you identify yourself for
Yes,
me, please?
PC McKenna, 1263. November.
Thank you very much.
Why do you get so anti when police come and speak to you?
I'm not anti.
Surely it's a good thing.
No, I've had
that we're being protected
several
from our buildings.
good interactions here today.
Right.
Okay, with 3 other officers. I've had
Okay.
some really nice interactions with them.
Okay. So you're
Right,
saying this isn't
and
a
not
nice
one,
interaction.
not one of them even attempted to bring up to do with terrorists.
Well, the first thing
not
I see
one of
when
them.
people
A second officer joins in, but the auditor remains steady. He points out that he's standing on a public footpath where filming is perfectly legal. When the officer suggests he might run inside, he calls it out as pure speculation with no evidence. This highlights how what-if scenarios are often used by officers to justify baseless stops. The auditor doesn't give in. He calmly brings it back to facts and rights. The longer the exchange goes on, the clearer it becomes that the officers don't have a leg to stand on. What began as pressure now looks like grasping at straws.
come outside a police building and start filming, that's the first thing that's what I think. That's it.
Well, then you need to actually rethink your actual mindset, okay?
I don't think so.
Well, yes, you do, okay? And when you see a member of the public, whether or not they're filming or not, okay, maybe if you actually approach and said, could I help you, okay, like you did when you stuck your head out the van,
I did.
okay, but then it should be, okay, is there anything else I can do for you, whatever, okay? I should be allowed to carry on and do what I'm lawfully allowed to do,
I've allowed you to. You've been filming me for ages.
okay,
So I've allowed you to.
okay? Well, it's not about you allowing me to.
You just told me to allow you to.
It's not about you allowing me to. It's something that I'm rightfully within my rights to do so.
Right, okay. You've just told me to allow you to. I have for about 10 minutes now. So.
Okay.
What's your first name?
I won't give my name.
Okay. What are you auditing? Just out of interest.
Pardon?
You're auditing, right?
I am,
What
correct.
Are you auditing?
A public building, okay, and a public service.
What is it? Just the amount of police officers that come out, or the vehicles?
No, just whatever I can see. Just whatever I can see. Whether or not a vehicle comes out, okay, an officer comes out, makes no difference. I'll film whatever I can see.
Just police stations you do, or do you go into any other?
Any public service.
So like a library? Would you go to
Okay,
a library?
yep.
Fire brigade?
Yep.
Okay. I'm literally just
Yeah. No,
scoping. Just
it's anything that the
finding out.
public. It's anything that the public pay for.
And what
okay,
do you do
that's a
with
public
that
service.
information?
It all depends. It all depends.
On what you see?
Yeah, I use it for my own personal interest.
Okay. And how many hours do you put in a week, would you say?
That's
doing that?
irrelevant to how many hours I put in.
Oh. Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it, yeah. So because at the moment, and especially with the Met, and then even then if you look at homicide police, okay, there is a massive divide between the public and the police.
Yeah,
There is a massive divide,
Yeah.
okay, and that divide is something that needs to be closed.
The auditor explains why he films. He audits public buildings, the same way he might film a library or any taxpayer-funded service. He says it's simply for his own purpose, and even admits he enjoys it. That simple answer frustrates the officers, who are expecting a hidden agenda. But that's the point. There's no hidden agenda. It's about accountability and transparency. By keeping it that simple, he shows how lawful activity alone unsettles authority. The officers push for more, But the auditor doesn't budge, making it clear he doesn't owe them an explanation.
Because we need a police force,
agree.
without any shadow of doubt. It's very important that we have one.
Yeah, it's a good relationship.
Thank
That's
you.
why initially PCSOs were introduced. Initially.
Yeah, but then now there's loads of mixed views to do with that, okay, whether or not that was the actual right thing, or was it actually about actually trying to get trained officers in.
They
do you
are
mean?
trained officers.
Well, no,
They're civil, weren't they? But
yeah, okay,
I used to be,
they're not in the same level as you guys as constables.
No.
They're not in the same level.
they don't have the same powers.
Yeah,
Correct.
as such. Yeah, it's not that there's-
Okay.
They've got their own job. It's not the same level. It's just that they don't.
Yeah, they've been
have
put
the same
in
powers.
as
The bridge.
as a replacement, okay, to what used to be the whole old home beat officers, okay, where they go out onto different estates.
That's
okay,
you've
and try and
got them. You've
engage.
got safer neighbourhoods, haven't you?
Yeah.
So then you've got the PCSOs that attach to the safer neighbourhoods. The majority of them, not all of them, obviously, and they're trying to bridge that gap. So is that what you're trying to look into then?
Well, yeah, it's to see how the police actually feel, okay, to do with it. And that's why I said I've had some good interactions where an officer came out to me, he turned around and went, "You're auditing?" I went, "Yes."
Do you,
And then
do you understand why we come up and question you?
yeah,
There's
but
a lot of people that, as you've already said, there's a lot of people that really don't like us.
yeah, I welcome any interaction. But as soon as try and say about the terrorist act, okay, and all the rest of it, okay, then that is when, okay, it won't go down the same line as what a normal civil conversation would have
But
been.
that's what we try to notice, and that's what it is linked with, because people gather information from police buildings, and then they use that information and unfortunately become quite destructive.
Well,
and
any
do
place
things.
really. It could be a tube station, train station.
Yeah, well,
or
just
going
remember,
video.
everything that I'm filming now, okay, can also be seen on Google Earth.
Right.
Okay, the only difference is the actual interaction, okay, between myself and officers, because I can see the whole police station and everything from Google Earth.
The debate shifts to the bigger picture, trust between the public and the police. The auditor points out that scandals, misconduct, and corruption have created a massive divide. The officer defends PCSOs, saying they were meant to rebuild community ties, but the auditor pushes back, calling them replacements for real officers. What starts as a debate about filming becomes a discussion on systemic trust. The auditor highlights that people need real transparency, not surface-level engagement. By widening the conversation, he exposes how deep the cracks are in public confidence. It's no longer about one camera. It's about the entire system.
But
Be
Okay,
able to see how
many
officers
people come in and out, what
and
times
that's
do
obviously
people
what
come in
we're
and
doing
out?
our job.
I'm-
I'm curious, just to,
I
to know what
don't
you're
care
doing.
how many officers go in and out. I don't care what times they go in and out.
Okay.
I'm not here for that.
But when I came out straight away, I said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And you didn't want to tell me. But if you just said, "I do an audit, I do it on all public buildings," then it would have
But
been.
I don't have to
interaction, wouldn't it?
justify what I'm doing.
But I'm asking you a question. Just
Yes.
like if we walked past in the street and you wanted to ask me a question,
Yeah.
I'd answer it.
And I said, what did I turn around and say to you what I was doing?
A purpose.
Okay,
That's it.
for my own interest.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, you didn't say
Okay.
your own interest. You said a purpose.
Yeah, my own purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you look at it, my own purpose is my own business.
Right.
Okay, and if I don't wish to tell you what that business is, I do not have to tell you what that business is.
Okay, but when you're videoing places like this, you
Yeah.
can't like get all angsty when people come and
Okay,
ask you.
so then,
'Cause it's our job
so
to
then,
come and ask and
so
make sure
then,
it's safe.
so then, do you go up to everybody then that's filming Buckingham Palace, okay, and 10 Downing Street,
That's not my
okay,
job
and
to do
stop
that.
them all?
That's not my job
okay?
to do that.
Do you go round to every single place, like even then when you look at the Olympic Park, okay, that's not far from here, even then when you look at that, okay, do you walk up to everyone that's got a camera?
It's not my job. again,
Okay,
is it?
do you walk up to everyone
But
who
this
you
is
can
just-
see with a
this is just
phone?
a normal police station, isn't it?
Yep, and this
So
is
we've
just,
come out,
and
you've
I'm
not
just a
stood near
normal
the
member of the
gates.
public with a phone.
The first thought is, well, why is he filming? And that's what's come last year.
Okay, so, and that's why I said to you that instead of actually doing it exactly as you done, okay, and you've been very polite and very professional, and I will say that, and that's how a conversation should be fully conducted, exactly how it was with the other officers that I spoke to previously.
So what's your plan for the rest of the day? You're going to carry on monitoring?
I have no idea yet. I have no idea. I
Just so
just
you
take
know
it.
that
I just
obviously-
take it stage by stage.
I only know because I've spoken to the officers that stopped you earlier. If you continue to film, probably more officers are going to ask you what you're doing.
And that's fine. That's fine. And I welcome any interaction.
Well, you didn't really welcome mine, but no worries.
Well, maybe you should look at the way that you actually approach first.
But you said I was fine in the van.
Okay, yeah, and it was when you got out, your tone changed.
Right.
Okay.
You said it was when I mentioned the Terrorism Act,
Okay.
which was a good 10 minutes
Yeah.
into the conversation.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The camera footage will actually show that. Also, as well, you didn't have that on straight away.
But it
Okay.
starts recording before I turn it on.
And just make sure, okay, that does actually get kept, because I will be requesting a copy of that.
For a policing purpose, it can get kept. So I have
Okay.
to justify why I've kept.
No,
Yes, I do.
Hey, the auditor calls out the officer's tone. At first polite, it shifted the moment terrorism was mentioned. That's when the exchange turned hostile. The auditor doesn't let it slide. He points out he can request a body cam footage, showing he knows exactly how the system works. That immediately flips the dynamic, leaving the officer unsettled. Most people wouldn't know to demand body cam footage, but this auditor does. The message is clear. Intimidation won't work on someone who knows the law inside out. In that moment, the officers realize they aren't dealing with an easy target.
once I put in a request, okay, I had 30 days before it is actually deleted.
Correct.
Okay,
So if you
and
put
it's in that
request in, I'll
time.
give it you.
Okay, and it's in that time that I will request a copy of it.
Okay, that's
and that's
fine.
why I said, okay,
But
please
other
make
than
sure.
a policing purpose, we can't save our body.
Okay.
It has to be for a policing purpose.
Okay. Yeah. And this is a policing purpose.
What's the purpose?
Okay, because we're having an interaction. Okay, and if you actually look, or even on the Metzone website, okay,
We don't record every interaction.
I know you don't, but you are recording this interaction.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why I said I will request a copy of
No
it.
problem. But like I said, I can't save it unless it's for a policing
Yeah.
purpose, which is fine.
With staff there.
Alright?
Or
Yep, no
you
worries.
can call up 101, which I'll write on here, and you can say, I would like to know your complaint about police.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you want to just find the chemicals? And they will be able to make a complaint for you on the phone. They'll be able to sort it out. Okay, and someone will contact you.
You are talking about on the telephone? Or
Yeah. So if you call up on your phone 101 and just say, I'd like to make a complaint to the police.
So
in regards
question,
to this
what are you
matter.
auditing now by just filming me
And then
listening to
this police
these?
station has your
I'm not listening to him.
No, me listening to them. I am.
Okay.
So I'm asking, like, what's the purpose of
Because
you
there's no
filming me
actual
just stood?
like working front office.
Just
here.
curious,
So
like, I'm
make
just
complaints.
curious why.
The complaints
Because
go on the phone,
you're
telephone number, which is
an officer on duty, okay, looking very unprofessional with your hands tucked in your actual body warmer.
Yeah?
Okay.
We're not allowed to put our hands in our pockets.
Yeah, I know. Well, that looks even worse. That looks even worse.
That's fine. But we're allowed to do
Okay.
this. We're
Yeah, I
not allowed
know,
to
but
put our hands
it
in our
looks a lot
pockets.
worse. Trust me, it looks a lot worse.
Okay, that's fine, but we've got rules. I'm not allowed to put my hands in my pockets.
Okay.
They're a lot more accessible from here compared to down here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of rules that are there. Okay. I.e. to do with the way that you also identify as well. Okay. It's like where you first actually just sort of dipped your shoulder and then pointed at your actual
But
number.
if you listen to the thing, I say that's my number 1171NA, and then you say, can you actually say it?
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. You did not say your number,
I did.
okay?
You can
No,
watch
you did
back.
not.
That's
I
fine.
actually asked for your number.
But I'd already said it once.
No, you hadn't.
Okay, we can watch that back later, no worries. I mean, you put it all on camera, so I wouldn't lie, would I? I said it, that's my number, 1171NA. And you said, can you say it so people can't hear it? Fair
Yeah.
enough. But I'd already said it.
If you had said it, I would have heard it.
Alright, that's no problem. So the reason you're recording me is because I've got my hands in my neck vest. That's correct, yeah?
Well, I'm standing in public.
No, I'm just asking
I'm
what's
filming
the
in public.
purpose of filming me just stood. That's all.
Well, you're still here with me, okay? So I'm still filming.
Ready?
Yes.
Yeah, no worries. Have a good day. Take care.
The encounter wraps up with the auditor calling out unprofessional behavior, from hands stuffed in vests to poor attitudes. He praises the polite officers, but doesn't hold back on the one who came across as moody and dismissive. His closing words reflect the bigger problem. Too often, professionalism is replaced with intimidation. By staying calm and firm, he exposes how fragile those tactics really are. The audit ends with a lesson for viewers. Standing your ground and knowing your rights can flip the script completely. What began as an attempted shutdown ends with the officers quietly backing off.